Greetings and salutations, planet Earth. Thank you for checking out this channel. I'm your host, aka. Without wasting any time, we're gonna speak about the best ways to raise money for a film. A lot of people want to know how to raise the funds. Let's get into some tips, and hopefully, this will be helpful and motivational. Let's go. Shout out to the channel.
After making a $25,000 short film, one question I've been asked many times is, how do you raise money for short films? Well, that's what we're going to go into in this video. Here's my best advice from over 20 years of making short films about how to get that bread. Now, the first thing to know about financing a short film is that unlike feature films, people are not generally willing to pay money to see a short film. And for that reason, putting any money into a short film is very similar to putting it into a black hole from which it will never return. Therefore, you should look at investing money into a short film not as something that's going to make you money or your investors money, but something that could potentially advance your career. So with that out of the way, how do we do it? 5 ways. Option number 1, pay for it yourself. This is the one that I've done the most in my career, and it's just the most convenient, assuming you're able to get your hands on a little bit of money. You can make this easier for yourself by simply making your short films cheaper. Use, instead of cash, favors. Get your friends, your family, other filmmakers you might know, and a little bit of money can go a really long way in your short film. All right, so you can't pay for it yourself. Option 2 is you team up with a group of other filmmakers or collaborators, and you collectively finance the film. This is what I did when I made my first feature film, Bad is Bad. It was going to be a $6,000 budget, and I was a broke college student at the time. There's no way I could raise that much money. But with the help of my 2 friends that were producing it with me, we were able to scrape $2,000 each over the course of a year and pay for this film. Now, the key thing to keep in mind when you're finding other people to invest in a project like this with you is, what are they going to get out of it, right? Usually it's going to be an opportunity for them to get experience or credit in a new role that's going to pay off for them later. Or maybe they have a big project coming up and you can volunteer your services on it for the whole thing. Just be creative and try to come up with ways that your short film can be beneficial to them. And if that's no good, then there's always option 3, crowdfunding. So I've done 2 successful Kickstarter campaigns, one for $12,000 for my second feature film, and one for $6,000 for that expensive short film that I was talking about. They were both a ton of work, and they were both very nerve-wracking months, since the way Kickstarter worked.
So some of these can apply to short films, and some of these methods can apply to feature films, as you can see. Shout out to
my second feature film.
Shout out to the channel, Standard Story Company.
And one for $6,000 for that expensive short film that I was talking about. They were both a ton of work, and they were both very nerve-wracking months, since the way Kickstarter works is you either get all the money or you get nothing. That said, I still prefer the model of Kickstarter, where it's all or nothing, versus Indiegogo, where everybody who invests, even if you don't meet your goal, you're still going to get that money. Because people are more willing to invest when they know that if you don't meet your goal, then they won't get charged for their donation. And if you're going to do a Kickstarter, here are my suggestions to help you have a successful campaign on there. One thing that I did for both my campaigns is I shot a sample scene or trailer of the project, and I put a lot of resources and time into this sample scene. A donor can come, look at the trailer, and immediately they see how serious you are about the project, they see how talented you are, and they can see your vision for the project in a way that, just a written page on your Kickstarter site will never be able to do. Another thing I did was intersperse the text of the campaign page with a lot of clean graphics, titles, and things like that. You just don't want a big chunk of text that nobody's going to read. So try to break it up and make it visually interesting as you scroll down the page. And probably the most important tip I can give you is that you need your first day of your campaign to be a big, big day for donations. When people come to your page, see it for the first time, the first impression is everything. And if you're on day 2 of your campaign and they click onto your page and they see, oh, there's $4 raised out of a $10,000 budget, they're just going to move on. They're going to feel like this campaign is a loser and it's not worth my time to even read the whole thing. On the other hand, if it's day 2 of your campaign and you have 40% of your $10,000 raised already, they're going to get excited about the project much more easily and be much more willing to donate. So how do you get a ton of momentum on day 1? You got to plan ahead of time. You got to make a list of who you think your big backers are going to be and send them an email a day or 2 before. Tell them the exact day and time that you're going to launch your campaign. And of course, you don't want to word these emails to be pushy at all, but you're just going to say, we're launching this campaign, your donation would be so appreciated. And if you are able to donate, if you can do it on the first day of the campaign, right after we launch, it will give the project so much more momentum and will make the biggest impact in our campaign. So you're basically just begging people to donate as soon as humanly possible if they are going to donate. And then when you actually launch your campaign, send out another email just reiterating that you're now live. Hopefully you'll get some big backers right off the bat and you'll get that momentum going. Another bit of advice I learned from doing my first campaign: send personalized messages. Do not send one mass email to everybody that you've ever met in your life. You'll have a much higher success rate in getting donations. Then you should be continually posting updates while your campaign is live. Tell them about new people you've added to your team, new locations, gear, anything you've got that will get them excited, and encourage them to either increase their donations or spread the word to people that they may know who may be interested. And the last thing about crowdfunding campaigns: use these wisely, because you're really only going to get one or two of these in your career unless you happen to have a large fan base of people that are really eager to support your projects. For most of us, we're just going to be going to like friends and family, things like that. So they're going to get annoyed pretty quickly if they are paying for every single one of your little passion projects. And that brings us to option 4 for financing a short film.
I'm gonna stop right here. I want to keep these short, and this is part 1. Check out part 2 for the rest of the tips. Thank you for watching. Have a beautiful day. Part 2 is a lot of secret sauce, or at least good sauce. So enjoy and come back. Peace.